Hi YouTube, this is my first video. You can probably tell I like lawnmowers. This garage was full in the spring and I've sold out, and I have a little project for us today. Follow me. So, this is my lawnmower, not mine, one I found, and as you can see there, it's a primer gold lawnmower. We're going to see if we can convert it to a ready start. So in my junk pile of engines, I have a ready start carburetor. We're going to do a little swap-a-roo and see what happens. So first thing, take off the air cover, take off the air filter, and there are 4 bolts, and of course they're different sizes. 2 are 9/32 and 2 are 5/16. I believe the 2 on the inside are the 9/32. Yep, 2 on the outside are 5/16. So I'll take those off, and I'm going to take the cover off. The cover has 3 bolts, and they're all 5/16 too. So the air filter housing is off, and the recoil is off. Now I gotta get this carburetor off. And look at what my nice neighbor got me. She ordered me dinner. Pizza. So now to get the carburetor off, there's a fuel clamp right there. Slide that out of the way. Got my locking pliers. Pinch off the fuel line. Take off the gas tank. Piece of cake. And now the carburetor should come right off. Z-bend. Voila. Okay, I've done the same to our donor engine. I took the air filter box off, and you'll see the difference. This one has the automatic choke, which goes to the choke in the front of the carburetor. Closed choke, open choke. The other mower doesn't have that. And I believe it's called a thermostatic choke because the heat from the muffler is what actuates it, or activates it. So, see there? It's an entirely different muffler. That all has to be transplanted. So let's do that. Alright. Muffler's disconnected. It's held on by 2 bolts, one on the top, one on the bottom. And they were 5/16. And I will remove the muffler, disconnect it from the carburetor, and set it to the side. And I've removed the carburetor. A lot of you are probably asking, why didn't I just transplant the engine? Well, this one's no good. It's blown. Didn't blow through the block, and I can hear something rattle around inside of it. So, years ago I took it off of a deck and kept it for parts. So So now let's take off the old muffler on our good engine, and it's held on by 2 bolts, also 5/16. The muffler is off. So now we'll put the muffler with the thermostatic choke that'll run to our carburetor on this engine. So there's our carburetor. It actually looks not too bad. Now I'm going to go ahead and clean it. I'm not going to show that. There's a million of those videos on YouTube. Alright, carburetor. Clean the inside. And we'll stick it back on. Just that simple. Now we'll put the muffler back on. Through the magic of television or YouTube, I'll put the screws in. And voila, the muffler's back on. 2 5/16 bolts, top and bottom. And we connected our thermostatic choke back to the carburetor. So now we'll put the air filter box housing back on. And we're going to use the one that is for the auto choke or ready start. This one. Not the old one, but the primer. Before I do that, it'll be easier if I put the gas tank back on and connect that back up. So let's do that. Gas tank. Move our clamp. Maybe. Gas tank is on. Lots of gas. I don't know a thing about this carburetor. It came off of a junk engine. So I don't know if it's any good. I cleaned the jet in it. But we will see. There's our auto choke. You can see it's working. Closing the choke when it's cold, and when it heats up, opens the choke. And we'll go ahead and bolt our air filter housing on. I'm not going to tighten them completely until I get the other 2 on. So those first 2 that I put on were, what were they? 9/32. These 2 are 5/16. Snug them all up at the same time. And the 9/32 don't overdo it because you're going into plastic. Voila. Now we'll put the recoil back on. Alright, recoil's back on. I found a used air filter. It's not great, but it'll work for now because it's different than the other one. Remember, the old one had the foam. That won't work here. This housing takes this paper air filter. So I have a used one. We'll give it a try. Alright, moment of truth. Shall we mow? I think so. So it mows. It acts like it's a little lean. I'm going to try something. So, the problem was the air filter. This has got oil in it, so it wasn't able to get enough air. And it still has a little surge to it. So, I'll show you what I did. I got another spare engine, took the carburetor off of it, cleaned it, and put it on here. And that seems to have done it. And if anyone's curious, I did purchase and install a new air filter on the rotor. Let's see how it sounds. is new. So if you ever wondered if you can convert one of these newer style Briggs with the primer bulb to a ready start, there's your answer. Easy peasy.